Hi there, Simon here again with another installment of our Friday video, and this week brought to you by questions from McKinley Clevenger in Moncton, New Brunswick. Today we are going to cover how to make decisions in your code. So using our existing default app, I'm going to just use this script here and show you how to reuse it a little bit and make some decisions. So I'm going to get rid of the print here, but we're going to use this value as an input, and I'm going to just type the number 1 here, and I'm going to decide how to do something with the number 1. And so to make a decision, the first thing you need to do is you start off with double clicking on the background and selecting the block and loop. So Vizwik uses these blocks as a way of making decisions. And a block is essentially a chunk of code that is contained in this rectangle or block, and it has a set of inputs. If you move your cursor to the top, you have some inputs. If you bring it to the bottom, you have some outputs. And we want to decide how to output a particular value based on an input value, and that's how we make a decision. You'll notice it says 1 of 1 here, or 1:1. That means that the block is a singular block and contains only one, what we call a case. And a block can contain a number of cases, which is essentially a set of diagrams. And we're going to add another diagram to here to make what we call an if-else. So if I double click on the input here, I can create an input, and I can do the same thing by creating output by double clicking on the output. And you can remove these if you want to by right clicking on each one and either clicking delete output or double clicking to create a new one. And you could have a number of these if you want to, and a number of outputs if you want to, and you can delete them. And so here, let's delete the input again. There we go. And now I'm going to connect this number 1 to the input. And if I want to make a choice, I go over here and double click on this input. And what it'll do is create what we call a match. Now this match is going to decide, am I going to create and execute this diagram? And now you'll notice that there's one of 2, and if I move my cursor over here, I have an arrow that goes to the second diagram, and here it's back to the first diagram where I have the match in it. Oops, sorry, I disconnected that. And if this is equal to true, or actually I'm going to right click on here or double click here and type in 1, if it's equal to this, I'm going to say yes as an output. And if it's not equal to 1, which it is actually, you can tell, I'm going to double click and say no, like that as an output. And I'm going to connect this output to the output to set the buttons value. Now, what am I doing? So if this is equal to 1, and it's testing if it's equal to 1, it's going to output yes. So if I click here, what's it going to do? It's going to type put yes to the button. If I put another value in here, anything else, it's not equal to 1, and it's going to say no. So there we go, no. All right, now if I double click and go back here, double click and type again, if I put this 1, let's make this value 2 just to show that it's going to be no. If I click here, it's no. If I type in 1, it's going to be 1, and I click this, it's yes. Well, there you go. So what is it doing? It's deciding based on the input value, am I going to output yes or am I going to output no? Now you can also do a range of values. So if I go over here and double click on the input of this match, and it will add another input. And now I can say, is it equal to some value? So let's add another input value. Double click on our input here and say true. And if 1 is equal to true, am I going to output yes? Well, this is probably going to say no, which is correct, because 1 is not equal to true. And if I said 1 is equal to 1, then it should probably say yes. There it goes. And if I say is 1 equal to 2, no, it isn't. There we go. Now I can put a range. So if I click on here, I can say is it equal, greater than, equal to, or all these different values, or not equal. Is 1 not equal to 2? Well, if I click on here, and it will probably say yes. There it is. 1 is not equal to 2. Is 1 greater than 2? No, it's not. Is 1 less than 2? Yes, it is. And so forth. So you can modify this test to determine various things and either determine whether the output is one or the other. And that's how you use conditionals. So thank you, McKinley, and thank you, everybody. Have fun making code.